Welcome to the True Tomorrows podcast. Get ready for your weekly science fiction probe into the wild world of flash fiction.
It's blockbuster-level storytelling you can enjoy anywhere, anytime.
Today, we're taking on two incredible tales.
To bend time, yeah, and challenge what it even means to be a god.
So strap in. Get ready for captivating True Tomorrows. Don't forget to rate and follow.
Absolutely. Now, the first flash fiction story we're diving into is called We Broke History 101. We've all been on those school field trips, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know, where things could go just a little bit sideways.
A recipe for disaster.
Exactly. But imagine that mixed with a time machine exhibit. And it actually works. Kinda.
Okay, so picture this. The classic museum trip. Half the class is doodling or daydreaming, and the other half is, well, they're scheming up some mischief.
Oh, for sure. It's such a universal experience, right? You're stuck in a place that's supposed to be all about learning, but you're just elsewhere. I can practically smell the institutional beige paint on the walls.
Totally. And leading this adventure is Mrs. Baxter. We've got our protagonist, more into sketching than, ancient pottery. Relatable, honestly.
Very.
Then we have Ethan, the ultimate history nerd.
Yes.
Like every display, he's just geeking out.
Oh, I love him already.
And of course, we can't forget Chloe. The type who's more concerned with, getting the perfect selfie for the gram than the actual history.
Lighting is everything. It's all about the aesthetic.
Exactly. So the centerpiece of this otherwise ordinary field trip is the History Changer exhibit.
Sounds fancy.
It's supposed to be immersive. You step inside, get a feel for different eras, all that jazz. Chloe, obviously, is already plotting her escape. But then, Ethan, bless his heart, he trips right in front of the thing.
Oh, no. What happened?
There's this, flash of blue light, this weird smell like burnt electronics, and poof, Ethan's gone.
Vanish. Just like that.
Yep. It happens so fast. 1 minute he's there, the next, just a weird smell and bewildered teachers. Total chaos. And then almost immediately after, Chloe gets sucked in too.
Wow. I bet the chaperones were freaking out.
Oh, totally. Jason, the jock, he's convinced it's some kind of museum prank.
Poor, naive Jason.
Right. And then our protagonists, they get pulled in too. And instead of ending up at the gift shop or, back on the bus, they land smack dab in the Middle Ages. Horses, knights in armor, the whole deal.
Whoa. Talk about a change of scenery.
And who do they immediately run into? Ethan.
No way.
Yeah. And he's, thriving. All those history facts he's obsessed with, suddenly they're super useful.
Practical knowledge at its finest.
Right. And then there's Chloe, her main concern, her designer handbag.
Priorities.
So it turns out this history changer isn't just some static display. It's a real, live, albeit malfunctioning, time machine.
Whoa. That changes everything.
And guess who's the only one who kinda, sorta, maybe knows how to operate it?
Ethan, right. The history buff.
Bingo. His love for history is officially their only hope of getting home. From there, it's a whirlwind. They end up in ancient Rome. And get this, Chloe somehow leads a gladiator revolt.
No way.
Apparently, her selfie posing skills translated surprisingly well to inspiring the masses. It's wild.
That is amazing. What else?
Oh, they try to help Nikola Tesla invent, a solar-powered toaster.
Ambitious.
It doesn't go so well. Then there's a pit stop at Woodstock, a close call with some dinosaurs, even an awkward run-in with French royalty.
Wow. A time-traveling greatest hits tour.
Right. But it's actually Jason, the jock, who has a moment of clarity amidst all the craziness. He's a little concussed from an incident with a disco ball.
Time travel hazards.
For real. But he says, and I quote, "We're breaking history." It's like the light bulb goes off.
I love that it's the unexpected character who delivers that crucial insight. It's like, even in the chaos, someone has to point out the bigger picture.
So with his newfound awareness, Ethan does his best to wrangle the glitchy time machine. And somehow, they make it back to their own time.
Talk about a close call. Where do they end up?
Right back in their school hallway, just minutes before their field trip is supposed to leave, like nothing ever happened.
Except, I imagine, everything has changed for them.
Oh, absolutely. They're back in their routine, but now they're carrying this massive secret.
The story doesn't just end with their return. It makes you think about what they're carrying with them, the impact of that experience.
Totally. There are even hints that they have, like actual scars from different time periods, little reminders of what they went through. Imagine going back to history class after that.
Right. Talk about a whole new perspective. This flash fiction story, it's not just about time travel. It's about how the past maybe isn't as fixed as we think. What if history is more accessible and more fragile than we realize?
Yeah, and that even a boring museum trip can hold the potential for something extraordinary.
There's potential for adventure everywhere, right?
Okay.
Okay, ready for our second science fiction probe.
Bring it on. What do we got?
This one takes us to a very different setting, a gritty, modern battlefield. It's called Olympus Falling, and it asks a big question. What happens when clones of the Greek gods, those all-powerful beings, get thrown into human warfare?
Okay, so we're talking ancient gods, modern battlefield. That's a huge contrast.
Exactly. Think about those epic battles in mythology. Now, picture explosions, advanced weaponry. It makes you wonder, can even a god stand up to a missile?
Right. And the story introduces us to Nikos, a true clone of Ares, the god of war. But right away, he's facing the limitations of his powers against modern tech.
It's like a reality check for the gods. Human ingenuity, it's a force to be reckoned with.
Definitely. And there's this powerful moment where Nikos, the god of war, saves a young soldier from incoming fire.
Wow, so he's not just a force of destruction, there's compassion there.
It's this reminder of the human cost of war, even for a god.
And it makes you question, are these god clones just weapons, or are they something more?
Then we're taken inside the command post. Stress, pressure, the whole 9 yards. The general, who's kind of like Athena, the goddess of strategy, is totally overwhelmed.
It makes sense. Modern warfare, it's so complex you can't just outsmart everyone with divine wisdom anymore.
Right. And we find out there are clones of other gods, too. Aphrodite, Poseidon. They were supposed to be the ultimate advantage, the ace in the hole. But their powers, like controlling the seas or messing with emotions, they don't really fit this war.
Yeah, it highlights this huge disconnect between their, legendary abilities and the reality of modern combat. Makes you think, can ancient powers adapt to modern challenges?
That becomes the core of Olympus Falling. The gods realize they can't just, summon a storm and win the day. Warfare, it's evolved.
It's a humbling moment for them to realize their traditional powers, they don't quite cut it anymore.
So Nikos, and this is surprising, he comes up with a new plan. He's channeling that era's energy, but with a strategic twist. Instead of big, flashy battles, they're going to focus on chaos.
Guerrilla warfare, but with gods.
Basically, hit the enemy where they least expect it. Disrupt their systems, sow confusion. It's a different kind of power.
So how does it play out? What do the gods actually do?
Okay, so Poseidon, he's not making tidal waves. He's subtly manipulating power grids, causing blackouts. Aphrodite, she's not charming entire armies. She's using her powers to mess with enemy communications, sowing discord.
Clever. It's like they're translating their ancient powers into something relevant to this war. And what about Nikos?
Nikos, he's using forgotten tactics.
Yeah.
Smaller scale strategies that play to their unique strengths. It's not about brute force anymore. It's about thinking differently.
So how do they win? Is it some big, dramatic showdown?
Nope. It's slow burn. The enemy's technology fails. Communication breaks down. Their whole system starts to crumble. It's a hard-won victory, but it feels very human, even though gods are involved.
It's not about divine might. It's about exploiting the cracks in the enemy's systems.
Exactly. And afterward, the gods, they're left wondering, do they even matter in this new world?
After being worshipped for so long, they're facing their own obsolescence. It's a heavy thought.
The story leaves us with this question. Has warfare evolved beyond the need for gods? It's a really powerful idea.
Olympus Falling. It's not just about gods at war. It's about the shifting nature of power and how even the most powerful beings have to adapt or risk fading away.
2 wild stories, right? Time travel chaos, gods facing a modern crisis.
Slash fiction, it packs a punch. In We Broke History 101, it made us rethink the past.
If it's not so set in stone. What if our actions have bigger consequences than we realize?
And Olympus Falling, it forced us to consider what power really means in a world that's always changing. Can even gods keep up?
These science fiction probes are just a taste of what's out there. So many more true tomorrows to explore.
Dive into the world of flash fiction. Share what resonates with you.
What other galactic adventures are waiting to be discovered? Don't forget to rate and follow the True Tomorrows podcast for more captivating science fiction probes.
We'll see you next week for another journey into the unknown.
Until then.